Me personally, and this is what he told me. That is a fact. So keep on.
Did you know that the Jewish people in Ethiopia now?
I asked a Hebrew Israelite why he works at a witchcraft shop, and this is what he told me.
I'm not going against any of my beliefs. I've had several people ask me straight up, do you really believe in this stuff? And I tell them absolutely not, right?
This stuff is witchcraft. Me personally as a pastor, I wouldn't personally work anywhere that's promoting something that goes against my beliefs. Could I work at a strip club serving drinks as a pastor?
Do you feel like it is compromising your morals to work at those places? If you are going in there and you are drawn away by your lust, then it could be a problem for you.
And if I'm not lusting and I'm good to go, you as a pastor would let me know it's okay, work at the strip club as long as you're not compromising your morals.
If that is what you have to do.
While it's true that many businesses may indirectly support questionable things, directly profiting from something as explicitly condemned as witchcraft is different. As a child of God, we are to have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH and His, Ba'Hashem Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to my Akim Wakim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity, as well as the speckled bird that may look like the other nations but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawa Cup coming issue with another lesson. Today's lesson, I want to go into this thing here where they are talking about hold on, they're talking about Slakia. They're talking about would you or are you allowed to, or as a follower of YAHAWAH, are you allowed to work in some witchcraft thing? And the stuff here is that obviously witchcraft is bad, and I'm not saying that it's not, but there is a time when, okay, well, you just don't, you may not have a choice. So let's take this guy for example. If he tried getting a job literally everywhere else and nowhere else would hire him or something like that, okay, especially in this job climate, all right, but if he tried doing all that and then just nothing worked for him, and this was his literal only option, then it's just like, okay, well, I really don't have a choice. And while yes, there are certain things that we do avoid, we do try to not partake in, simply because, okay, yes, this is not okay. This completely goes, like, for example, I don't know, if you had a job that told you to go arrest other Israelites, if you had to go be a police officer and you had to go arrest specifically Israelites, not necessarily Jake, they deserve it if they are doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing, but for Israelites that are doing the best that they can, like there was that, I forgot that thing, there was some job training or whatever for citizens and stuff like that, in order to round people up. But that's basically the thing where there's a difference between doing something that directly like attacks people, or more so are you directly doing something that is unlawful, whereas this Christian is trying to make a distinction that, oh well, which by the way, why would he say that they can't be around that if Christians think that the law is not in place? So if the law is not set up right now, why would you or anyone need to worry about if you're breaking the law or if you're around people that do witchcraft? So that just means by extension, okay, well, witchcraft now is permissible because the law is not in place. So okay, well, now you can do witchcraft because that's a part of the law. All right. So to to be saying stuff like that is incredibly dishonest, and it's incredibly hypocritical. That it's incredibly hypocritical to try to make it seem like they care about something that's right, or something like, or that these things or these values are of the Lord, when they themselves don't even follow the values of YAHAWASHI to begin with. So how are you going to criticize and say that, oh, you're not supposed to be doing this, you're not supposed to be doing that, when you actively don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of what YAHAWASHI put in place and established? So how are you going to tell someone? How are you going to tell someone that, oh, this, that, and the third, you're not allowed to work in a place that deals in witchcraft? All right. So let me get some of these precepts to actually show you some some things. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 31, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away. Basically, you're allowed to make use of the world, but you shouldn't abuse it. All right. It's like, it's a simple matter of, okay, well, I tried getting a job literally everywhere else, and this is the only job that would hire me. So I don't need to use the witchcraft. They're not telling me that I have to actively participate in some witchcraft. All I have to do is just sell the trinkets and stuff like that, give it to whoever comes here to buy it, and then I get paid, and then I'm good. I'm done. I'm getting my money, but I'm not actively participating in said witchcraft, which that's a part of using the world, because of course sometimes we need to work jobs, and even then, because this guy was very dishonest about this, because he even brought up all these other stores that basically do the same thing or are even worse. All right, like, okay, maybe not, that's not a good example. And that's not even the thing. It's not even indirectly. It is directly. They directly. What was it? It was They said, I think it was Nintendo, Walmart, and I think McDonald's that benefited off of slave labor or something like that. Let me just do a quick Google search. It was McDonald's. No, McDonald's was hiring prisoners to work for their stores. All right. McDonald's hiring. Alabama profits off prisoners who work at McDonald's, but they literally, what? They closed the fucking thing? Alabama inmates forced to work at Burger King, or maybe it was Burger King, for next to nothing. So yeah, this was the thing. There were these companies. So if you work at Burger King, you're directly supporting damn near slave labor. All right, and like this is the thing. The hypocrisy. Bear with me. Hello, testing. If this thing can close that shit out. I hate websites like that. They always do stuff like that. Anyway, basically the thing here is that you have these different companies that are doing a lot of evil, just straight up flat out evil things. So working at a store that just deals in witchcraft, where maybe the owner works in witchcraft, but if the owner's not dealing with you, obviously the owner is not someone that you have to associate with, but at the same time that doesn't mean, oh well, now you need to stay away from that, because by that logic with the precept that he brought out, let me get that. Expose them. So why aren't you as a pastor exposing the entire U.S. government system in its corruption and stuff like that? Like that has way worse. They've done way worse things than a small freaking witchcraft shop. All right, and it's so, and again, like, it's so funny how people want to be selective about what they want, what they have, when they want to have morals. All right, it's okay. Well, this is something that's so small, or this is something that involves some black person, or this is something that involves X, Y, and Z, or whatever, rather than actually going to the like the top brass of evil and exposing them for all the evil that they've done. But of course he doesn't care, because it's number one, it doesn't affect, or he's benefiting off of that, it being an Edomite. That's number one. And number two with how things are, they don't actually care about doing the right thing. This is just all about virtue signaling. All right, it's not about it's never doing the right thing. All right, especially with Babylonians, not just East or Edom, but Babylonians in general. Even when they're talking about, you know, someone that does something wrong, all right, like the internet will come together to terrorize fucking, let's say, EDP. All right, EDP, for example, they say, oh, he's such a terrible person, this, that, and the third, whatever, X, Y, and Z. But then, you know, when people actually talk about real judgment, all right, when people talk about real judgment, like him, like it are like, it's never about a set standard. Like, for example, if he got arrested, which he didn't, by the way, I'm pretty sure he never got arrested, but if he had gotten arrested and he had, you know, served his time, people don't care about that. They will just keep on like terrorizing them, because their lives are so insignificant that the only thing that they find joy in is making other people's lives miserable. Where, again, I don't even care about him, about EDP specifically. I genuinely just do not like him. But in general, when people are talking about stuff, like, either get this man locked up definitively, or why are you putting all your time in trying to ruin his life in terms of like it's like, if you want him to die, okay, then that's another thing. You can want him to die, sure, fine. I again, I don't care. That's fine. I don't care about that dude's life, but like, do you like realize that a lot of the stuff that these people do, it is damn near like killing people. Like, the things that they do, it makes it so that they are, or these people are incapable of living normal lives. That's basically what the end result is, where people are always keeping track. They're calling his jobs, they're calling his thing, they're saying, okay, well, you need to fire this guy and third. So which he basically said that every time he's gotten a new job, he had gotten fired like not too long after, where he can't work a consistent job without people calling his job, recognizing him, and then saying this, that, and the third. Which again, like me personally, at that point it would just be like, why not just arrest? Why not either get him arrested or like might as well, just like kick the bucket or disconnect from the server or something like that. Like, you know what I'm trying to say. It's just like, that is a terrible way of living. And the people, the Babylonians more specifically, it's never about anything definitive, because even if he had gotten arrested, which I've seen before where people have served their time, it literally does not matter. Or they still will, okay, well, let me go bring this stuff up. Let's go incite more violence, incite more hatred, incite more whatever on them to continue to harass them to no end, just for the hell of it. Again, it's a very, very miserable existence. All right. So with that, let's continuing on. Romans chapter 13 verse 1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahawah. The powers that be are ordained of Yahawah. Whosoever therefore resists the power resists the ordinances of Yahawah, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. So basically, what's going on here is, for us, we have to follow the laws of the land, and we are basically in subjection to these different things. Like, say for example, if you work at Burger King, McDonald's, or Walmart, stuff like that, and again, those not countries, us, it's countries. I meant to say those stores have support questionable things, and that, well, you just because you don't have another job, or because you can't get another job, or whatever, you're still gonna work at that job, because again, like, you don't have any other option. And it's just like, you can't always just say, oh, I'm just gonna not work at all because I can't find a job, and the only jobs that are hiring are these evil ass corporations that make people miserable and stuff like that, and steal people's money, or serve poison. Even then with I think it's Walmart, they have a bunch of chemicals. Well, I think it's only in America, but they have a bunch of chemicals in their what's it called, in the ingredients of their foods. And even then, you also have they said it was McDonald's, their patties, they don't mold, or they don't have maggots and stuff like that. It's like some sort of weird chemical that makes it like it makes it weird. It's not like regular meat, basically, stuff like that. So again, like, when you go to these places, not just as employees but as customers, you're supporting that. So why aren't you as a customer as well, not just as an employee? But why don't you go to someplace else? But it's because you don't have any other option. You have to go to Walmart. You have to go to whatever. All right, in order to get stuff, you don't have the power to change, because we're not allowed. Because I'm pretty sure that yes, there are farms, but like, as a homeowner, I think that there's some sort of specific law that says you're not allowed to have a certain number of like fruits and vegetables in your thing, or you can't have certain plants or some shit like that. I don't know. I basically read that one time when I was looking it up, where they said that there are certain regulations on gardening that you're not allowed to do. All right. Anyway, Ecclesiastes. Did I accidentally just close out the thing? Okay. Romans 12 verse 18. If it be possible, as much as life within you, live peaceably with all men. So there's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to interact with certain people that you do not like. Well, you just have to accept that you're not going to be around the best people in the world, and you just have to accept that, okay, well, I am going to be around demonic ass people. Because an example of this is you. is having to deal with you, your annoying ass, where he is over here at his work, at his job, I'm assuming, and you're over here bothering him, all right, being this fucking virtue signaler, doing this shit for your TikTok or whatever, or YouTube or something like that. Well, we don't want to. Certain people don't want to deal with that, but yet we literally are forced to interact with people like you. And even then, with the whole streaming stuff, we're literally forced to have to deal with people like this, where there have been multiple times when these content creators are bothering people, and people just have to deal with it because, oh, look at the security, oh, look at this, oh, look at that, or whatever, some stupidity and stuff like that. And a lot of people, again, like, we are over here trying to mind our own business, but yet look at these fucking invalids, all right, going around and being disruptive, all right. Like, that's the separation of it, where for us, in following the Bible, we're supposed to try to live peaceably, not cause trouble, not bring attention to ourselves, a negative attention to ourselves. Whereas you have these people that think that it's their life duty to bring negative attention to themselves, all right, which they do. Because I remember that one idiot got freaking, I think sucker punch or something like that. It was pretty funny. So Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 16, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? And that's the thing here, where you don't need to take it upon yourself to learn all the ins and outs of that stuff, or to know the deep inner workings of everything. All you have to do is just, okay, you know what? I understand there is this, I understand there's that. Let me just focus on the things that I can control, which is me trying my best to, stay on the good side of YAHAWAH, and then outside of that, then I'm good. I'll live. I'll figure out all the inner workings with that and whatnot. But outside of that, like, it's just it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. But Yahawadah, the Lord, is going to help us with the rest of things. All right. Anyway, just to go through, in conclusion, I know it's very long-winded, but in conclusion, the main thing I wanted to point out was how, yes, we are dealing. We might have to work some certain jobs that are not the best, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not for us to think, okay, well, let me go find out exactly, are these things and people all this moral, or is this something that I'm just doing because I have to do it, or am I tainting myself with any of this witchcraft stuff like that, or am I just working the cashier details and stuff like that, handing over the merchandise and whatnot, and that's it. And even then, when it comes to, like, say for example, selling pork, we can sell pork. We're allowed to sell pork, and that's just a part of the job. That's just a part of the job, and it's not even for us to really tell people how to live their lives or what to do, because again, we are in captivity. So as a result of us being in captivity, all right, that's basically the thing. All right, and even even a brother told me this story before, where he was at a job, right, and while he was at a job, he was there was this other brother that was an Israelite. Okay, I don't even think he was a brother though, but anyway, there was this other Israelite, I think he was a bit newer or something like that. He said, "Man, I don't think I can do this job because there's pork here, and I'm gonna have to deal with this and stuff like that." And the other brother had been working the job already for a while, and he was like, "No, it's fine. You understand it." And he went on a whole he told me he went on a whole ass lecture and explained to him why it's okay, because he needs to do it for the job. And the new guy said, bro, I really wasn't listening to you at all, man. And it's like, and then he was like, okay, you know what, you got it, do whatever what you feel is right. And then I guess the dude just fucking quit or whatever. But the main thing was that the brother was trying to explain to him that yes, he understands that you don't want to work a job and touch pork and handle pork and all that stuff. Sure, but we have to understand that we are in captivity. We can't keep the laws perfectly, and it's self-destructive to expect yourself to be perfect at a time like this, because even then we are still not perfect and we fuck up in other places as well. But the main thing is that, you know, this is just a job. This is just something that is, you know, temporary until YAHAWAH, you know, delivers us. All right, where it's not a matter of us. It's not our responsibility to make sure that our people or whatever eat right. It's, as a matter of fact, let's get that. Let me get that, because that's over here in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 12. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without? Do not ye judge them that are within? But them that are without Yahweh judges. Therefore put away from among yourselves that wicked person. Basically, the Lord says that we judge the people that are within the truth, when are able to understand judgment and justice. But the people that are without Yahawadah, the Lord's going to judge them. The Lord's going to deal with them. The Lord is going to handle them. All right, you don't go telling people what to do or how to handle stuff. You just focus on the main thing that concerns you, which is, okay, I'm not going to eat this pork. I'm not going to do anything that, but I will, you know, handle my business and do what I need to do as per, you know, making ends meet. All right. But of course, again, as I said before, that does not mean going around and doing the most vile of acts. Like, you still can't, like, sin in certain ways. All right. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, SHAMAIWAN, that will honor the elders and apostles, great millstone, above all, and Shalom.